Am I the a-hole for asking my boyfriend to choose between me and his work wife after a joke about our fun time life? I 29F have been with my boyfriend Chris 31M for 5 years. He's amazing in so many ways, funny, kind, and super supportive, but there's this one thing that's been bothering me for a while now. His work wife, Jess 30F. Chris works in a close-knit office, and Jess has been his coworker and friend for years. At first, I wasn't bothered. I mean, I get it, friendships are a thing, and it's normal to be close to people you spend so much time with. But over the years, their relationship has started to make me feel off. For starters, they text all the time. And not just during work hours, she'll message him at night, on weekends, even during our date nights. A lot of the time it's about work, but not always. Sometimes it's random memes or inside jokes that I don't get. When we go to events with his coworkers, Jess is always by his side, laughing at his jokes and acting like she knows him better than anyone. One time, she introduced herself to me as his work wife. Everyone laughed, so I laughed too, but honestly, it stung a little. Chris brushed it off when I brought it up later, saying it's just a joke and I'm being silly. Then last weekend, things hit a breaking point. We were at a party with his coworkers, and I overheard Jess and Chris talking in the kitchen. Jess made some joke about how Chris must be exhausted because I keep him up all night. Chris laughed and said something like, "Yeah, she's got a lot of energy," and they both cracked up. I just stood there, frozen. They were joking about our fun time life in front of their coworkers. It felt so disrespectful and humiliating. When I confronted Chris about it later, he admitted the joke was in bad taste, but said I was blowing it out of proportion. He called it harmless banter and swore there was nothing to it. I told him I was done playing cool about Jess and that he needed to set some boundaries with her or I was out. That's when he said I was being insecure and controlling. He insists there's nothing romantic between them, and I'm just making drama over a friendship. Now, I'm torn. Some of my friends think I overreacted and that I shouldn't make him choose between me and Jess. Others say I'm totally justified, especially after that joke. So, am I the a-hole for asking my boyfriend to set boundaries with his work wife, or should I just let it go?
Here are the top comments.
Not the a-hole 5 years and he wouldn't agree to some boundaries after joking about your fun time life to coworkers? I feel like him going to, "You're insecure and controlling," instead of him looking at his friendship and evaluating if it's crossed some lines is a little telling. It doesn't sound like you asked him to cut her off, so his reaction makes me think that your intuition isn't wrong and maybe you need to figure out what you are willing to take in a relationship.
Not the a-hole. That was totally disrespectful and crossing a line. Joking about your fun time life in front of people? Nah, that's not cool. If he really cared, he'd set those boundaries. You're not asking for much, just a little respect.